I really like the
Snacks.
fact that yes, exactly. As you can see.
Popcorn. No, you didn't mean that. Okay, well, thank you very much for chatting with me today. Obviously, I'm from Cineworld. I've seen the movie, absolutely loved it, so congratulations. I was terrified the whole way through. So, Alex, my first question is to you. Obviously, it is a disaster horror movie, but a lot of our unlimited card holders who got to see the film a little bit earlier said that they actually found it obviously terrifying, but a lot of fun. So what was the vibe that you were going for when you were directing it?
I was, my challenge was to try to make the most suspenseful and scary movie possible. And I thought, and I ended up, I think, being quite right, that the more scary it will be, that will create this kind of nervous, like
energy,
fun enjoyment. It's like when you're on the roller coaster, and when it's a really good one, you know when it's gonna fall, and you know when like the loop are coming, and the intensity of it make you laugh nervously, but you keep being scared because the experience is so strong, and that's what I was really aiming for.
Yeah, it's perfect. It does exactly that.
Hello, can anybody hear me? I'm trapped with my father in our house in Galway.
And Kaya, obviously, you spent a lot of time under the water, treading water, swimming, holding your breath, running from massive alligators, which I was exhausted just watching it, so it must have been exhausting filming it. But obviously, what was the biggest challenge you found sort of on taking on the role of Haley? It's quite an intense part.
It's really genuinely difficult to pin one thing down. I think it was just the experience of it. I read the script the first time and I put it down and I was like, okay, judge it for the character, which is what I do with every script, and then judge it within the genre, judge it within the creative team. And then I had to read it like 4 times to judge it just physically. I was like, can I handle this? Am I gonna be okay putting myself through this? My son was only 1 at the time. I was kind of, deciding if I was ready to throw myself in, because that's what I do. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it right.
Yeah,
and I'm going to do it 100%.
Yeah.
And that really excited me. It was kind of the nervous enjoyment thing again. I've been part of big franchisey movies, and that was great, but I didn't really get an opportunity to show what I could do. I was always a bit in the background, and I kind of feel like when this came to me, I was like, okay, this is it. This is my chance to really prove to myself and to my son and to the world that I can make a really kind of fun, kick-ass woman lead a studio film, and everyone can enjoy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, physically it was absolutely horrific.
Yeah.
And I've probably never drunk as much beer in my life to try and forget the days.
Yeah, mentally it must have been exhausting as well.
But we had an amazing crew who ended up like a family. Like, I honestly cannot applaud the Serbian crew enough. They were amazing. Brilliant. I know many makeup designers that would not have done it, and they got in the water every day in their wetsuits and worked for 18 hours plus. Like, we were all in it together.
Really? Wait, down here! Did you hear that?
Why is this the kind of film that needs to be experienced on the big screen?
It's the best way to see it, to have the energy of everyone around you. I love going to the movies. I loved that growing up, and that's kind of slowly dying out. And there is a place for streaming and all those things, but I think there's also still a place for cinema, and it's this movie. It's the sound design, it's the weather, it's the feeling of being enclosed and not being distracted for a second.
It's the size of it.
Yeah.
Like when you watch on your screen, even if you have a big TV, you cannot be inside the experience. No. Like the immersive part of what are we doing, making movies, is the key part of the theatrical experience. We are like writing stories to forget that we're watching, and we want to live the stories. And a movie like Crawl is an example of a movie that you live with your guts. You forget that you're in the screening. Even if you share with everyone around that similar vibe, you cross on the other side of the mirror and you're with Kaya all the time, and you're going through hell with her.
Yeah, you're right there.
And that's something that you don't want to miss.
If you want some self-torture, go ahead.
So obviously we're a cinema chain, so we always ask this question for both of you. What is your favourite part about going to the cinema?
Oh. I really genuinely love switching my phone off. I love knowing that I'm not going to read an email or see a text or deal with anyone, that this time is just for me. Especially after having my son, it was like my favourite thing to do was go to the movies. Just the distraction and also storytelling in like its purest form. It's not 140 characters. It is a full story. And to give your attention to that is my favourite thing.
What about you, Alex?
I really like the
Snacks.
fact that yes, exactly. As you can see.
Popcorn.
No, but really, I absolutely love to forget that I'm in a movie theater. That's, I'm sitting on the chair, and if the movie is good, I will just go into another place. And it's something that I cannot do the same way when I'm home watching a movie. Like, the theatrical experience is still one of the most immersive, way of experiencing a story, and I want movies to be seen like this. There is a good reason why movies are so popular right now in movie theater as well. It's because they are playing with this kind of direct relationship. There is no distance between the screen and the viewer, and that's how they can challenge those gigantic, also bigger superhero movies.